Hi class. So I wanted to discuss with you guys how to format your paper so it's in proper APA format. So first of all, you are going to make this Times New Roman and you're going to make it 12-point font, okay? And you're going to make the spacing, of course, double. Now the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to create a title page. I would press enter about 6 or 7 times. Then you are going to title this what it means to be an American. Okay, so you're going to give it a title. Then you are going to put your first and last name and your middle initial. So I'll just do an example of, let's see here, Sarah R. Jones. Okay, the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to type out Gordon Lee High School. Okay, so APA style, we're doing on the title page, again, you're doing your title, you're doing your name with your middle initial, and then you're going to put the institution, Gordon Lee High School. Now, you also need to insert your page number. So I'm going to go to insert, I'm going to go to page number, I'm going to go to top of page, and I'm going to select this one at first. Then you're going to type out your title in all caps, so what it means to be an American, okay? I am going to make this Times New Roman 12-point font. All right, and then you notice that I just clicked tab several times and that got that one to be right aligned. So again, your title is going to be in all caps left aligned. Your page number is going to be right aligned. So what I did is I just hit tab several times so that that one went over there. Now I know not all of you guys are using Word. Some of you guys are using Word Online. If you're doing that, you go to insert and then you go to page number and then you select that one. And then again, this is if you're using Google Docs, okay? I'm showing you guys if you're using Google Docs. You can type out your title here again. So it's what it means to be an American, what it means to be an American, okay? And you can tab that over several times and that is good enough, okay? And again, you can go back and make this Times New Roman 12-point font, okay? If that one goes down there, you just hit backspace and then click to get out of it. Some of you guys are using Word Online, so I wanted to kind of show you guys what that would look like if you were inserting a page number here. You'll go to Insert, you'll go to Page Number, you'll select that one, okay, and it will automatically do it for you. So let me go ahead and hit caps lock here, what it means to be an American. Now you guys will notice that that went down there, so you just gotta, there's this like little invisible line here that you just have to pull over to make sure that's all on one line there. If it's not a huge deal. This page number, it says we'll add page numbers here, okay? So it'll automatically do it for you. You don't have to type in the 1 or the 2 or the whatever, all right? So just double click to get out of it, and your header, if you click back on it, you'll see that you've got that, so you are good to go, okay? So that is how you format your title page, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and talk about your abstract. I'm gonna hit Control Enter. That's gonna get me to my second page. Your second page, you are going to write an abstract. Now, an abstract is basically a summary of your paper in about 5 sentences, and make sure that it's a good 5 sentences. So you could start it out, by talking about, being an American means different things to a lot of different individuals. However, there are lots of values that this country was founded upon, and then you can kind of go over your 3 values. And what I would suggest you do is spend like 1 sentence on each value. Maybe you want to, talk about what that value means to you. One thing that I did want to talk about, because I'm noticing a lot of informal language in outlines, try to stay away from using the words I, me, we, our, okay? Anything that includes the first person, also you and your. And again, it's just minor points, but when you write a formal paper, you want to make sure that you keep it formal. So try to take the first person out, and again, try to take the second person out as well. So your abstract, again, I'm just going to put in parentheses, 5-sentence summary paper, okay? And then I'm going to hit Control Enter again. And then your third page is where you're actually going to be writing your paper. So this is where you're going to start your introduction. Okay, so you'll have your 5 body paragraphs. I'm going to hit Control Enter one more time. And then you are going to have a references page. Now this will likely be on page 5 or 6. Okay, so you're going to title it references. And then all you guys are going to do is you are going to go back to your note card assignment, okay? And you are going to copy and paste the information from citationmachine.net. So I'm going to put info from citationmachine.net, okay? It's basically going to be your sources that you actually used in your paper. Okay, so some of your sources, you have 6 sources, you may only use 3 sources. 3 sources is the, that's required that you at least have 3, but you may not have more than that, and that's fine. So you're going to basically put all that information here, information from citationmachine.net, sources that you use in your paper. So I'm going to put at least 3, okay? And then sources, they should be in alphabetical order. So I'll put ABC order, and they should be having the hanging indent. Okay, so try to make sure that you select everything. Like if I wanted to make this the hanging indent, you would select everything, you right click it, you go to paragraph, you go under special, you click hanging, and you click OK, and then that should do it for you. Obviously, because these are not actual citations, it's not doing it for me. But you can also click enter and tab, okay, if something is not doing that for you. So you can do it manually, but again, if your actual sources, that's the steps, and it should do it automatically for you. All right, so I just wanted to show you again, how to format your paper in APA style. So don't forget your title page, your abstract, and then of course, the body of your paper, your introduction through your conclusion, and then you're gonna have a references page, okay? I'm also gonna post an example of a paper that is an APA format. It's one of my seniors that did a paper earlier this semester. She gave me permission to share that, so I'll share that with you so you guys can kind of look and see what that looks like. Okay. In your paper, please make sure that you include 2 in-text citations in your body paragraphs. I'm going to go ahead and go over this really quick. These are typical errors that I see in this paper that sometimes students make. So a lot of times students don't include enough analysis in the body paragraphs. Remember, for each quote, the rubric states that you should have 2 to 3 sentences, okay? That means you probably should have at least like 3 full lines of analysis where you are saying what the definition shows, defining it in your own words, what the example proves about America and about our values. And so again, 2 to 3 sentences, usually at least 2 full lines. All right, I'll go at least 2 full lines. If you can go 3 lines, that's great, but at least 2 full lines of analysis per quote. Okay, so sometimes students forget to include 2 quotes in each body paragraph. So make sure that you should have one that kind of defines your value, and then another quote that basically gives an example or is from literature that kind of demonstrates that value. All right, make sure that you guys add transitions and further explanations to your body paragraph. So what I mean by that is, transition, of course, is like one reason why America is different from other countries is, okay, it's some sort of phrase or at least a word or 2 that sort of links the ideas together. So don't forget about those transitions. And what I mean by further explanation is just, I'd like for you to have 2 sentences that are in your own words, and even if the second sentence is relatively short, but at least 2 sentences before you actually give your definition of that value, before that first quote. So again, 2 sentences before you actually give your first quote, which is the definition. Sometimes students make the mistakes of having quotes that are too long. Remember, really they should only be 3 lines in length, or maybe 3.5 at the very most. You don't want quotes that are like 4 lines long and more, okay? Because basically a good rule of thumb for papers is however long your quotes are, you should have that much plus more in your own words. So if you have quotes that are like 5 lines long, are you going to add 5 lines of analysis in your own words? Probably not, right? So try to keep your quotes to about 3 lines. Try not to make them longer than 4 lines, just so that you can keep most of the paper in your own words. Sometimes students have introductions that are too short. Remember, when you're talking about what it means to be an American, at least have 2 to 3 sentences where you're really explaining what makes us different. Maybe you're defining each one of your values in your own words. However you choose to do that is fine, but make sure your introduction should at least be, 5 sentences, maybe even longer. So try to add some to that, and make sure you have enough context there. Um, Sometimes students forget about APA style, so they forget to put their references page or their title page or their abstract. Sometimes they forget to, format their header. All of those are points, in your paper. So make sure that you put your paper in APA style. The next common error that some students make is some students have lots of informal language. Remember, it's still a formal paper, even though, I know it's your opinion, but you can still say what you believe without saying the words, I believe that. Okay, you can just, if you said, like, I believe that competition is one of the most important American values, you can just say simply, competition is one of the most important American values. I know that it's your belief, because you're putting your beliefs down. So, don't try to take out I, me, we, our. You can use people, you can use Americans, you can use someone. Okay, but try to stay away from these pronouns. Also, you and yours, considered informal. So, if you have like you in your, first in your attention grabber or something like that, that's okay. But really, other than that, you shouldn't use the word you. So try to change your paper to sound more formal. So sometimes another common error is conclusion lacks passion and doesn't summarize 3 main arguments. Remember, your conclusion is that last opportunity to really sum up for your reader what makes America unique, what makes us the best country in the world, and why should somebody who doesn't know about America, why would they want to live here, right? So it's really, you can put a little bit of, try to connect with your reader, try to be really passionate, and again, you're going to sum up your 3 main arguments or your 3 main values. The last common error that I sometimes see is that the abstract includes information that's too specific. Remember, you don't want to cite in your abstract, so make sure you don't include like specific numbers or whatever. Just keep it kind of a general summary about your paper. I included this list or this example of an in-text citation just because some of you guys are forgetting to put the date in your in-text citation. Remember, it's either the title, or if you have an author's last name, use the author's last name. Okay, but if you don't have an author's last name, you often use the title, or it's really you're using whatever comes first in your citation. Okay, whatever that first word or couple of words is in your citation, it's usually the author's last name or the title. But make sure that you're putting that in your in-text citation. Then you're putting, of course, the date. If it doesn't have a date, you put n.d. for no date, and then the paragraph number from where you got that information. Where you got that information from. Okay, so those 3 things should be in each one of your in-text citations. Really quick, I just wanted to include this. These are words to avoid when you are, writing academically. So just try to stay away from using contractions, things like very, kind of, somewhat, basically, really, a lot of, things, or stuff. Make sure you're concise and to the point. Of course, passive voice, and then, second person. I'm going to add to that list first person, just because we're trying to sound more academic, right? So the way that you do that is kind of taking out those pronouns, which I listed some of those up here. So I just wanted to quickly kind of go over APA style, and then a couple of quick, things to avoid while writing your paper, or things to do, so that you kind of avoid these common errors. If you have any questions about your paper, how to format your paper, what it should look like, please make sure that you reach out to me. I would be happy to help you guys individually. Just shoot me an email. Let me know. If you guys are not able to write this paper this week, I understand sometimes you have a lot going on in other classes as well. You can actually choose to do extended semester, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about what that is later on. So you can look at that. But this paper is going to be due by Thursday. So hopefully most of you guys will be able to submit it by then, but if you're not, again, you can do extended semester and complete, work next week for full credit. It's not a big deal. I'm not so concerned about due dates. I'm more concerned about, you guys writing it correctly. So again, reach out to me if you have any questions, and I look forward to reading these papers on American values, what you believe makes America, America. All right, guys, take care of yourself.